What it is, welcome back to the channel. It's your guy Ness, and today we're talking about the Neo Geo AES Plus from Plaion. Yes, this is a brand new console, hot off the presses. The trailer just got blind dropped this morning, the time of this video, and I had been following some rumors over the last couple of weeks over some licensing over certain games. We happened to see some licensing things happen and pop up. They were on websites and they got deleted off of websites. A couple of games like Samurai Showdown 5, Garo Mark of the Wolves. We saw those and then they were just gone. I had planned originally on making a video on a speculation of this, and then randomly the trailer dropped this morning, time of this video. What is the Neo Geo AES Plus? Because there is a significant difference between every other console or aftermarket console, if you will, that we've ever seen. The Neo Geo Gold X, which was more of a emulation of a console where you had a little handheld version. And we've seen the market for those kind of increase about 50 to 60 bucks, maybe 70 bucks in some cases. The real selling point to that was you were going to get the entire library of those games digitally on these little cards. You put them in there and you could play them handheld on the go, or if you wanted to plug it into your TV, you could play it on the form factor of the console. The biggest differentiator was you couldn't play the original AES carts on it, but now that's changed. We're not talking about a Neo Geo Mini. We're not talking about an MVSX. We are talking about an AES Plus. This console is significantly different from anything we've ever seen on the market. Think of the Atari 7600, where they released that latest update about, what, a year or 2 years ago now at this point, where you could actually play the classic original carts on the console. Well, Plaion is doing the same thing for the AES Plus. So forgive me, I'm gonna go down the list of a couple of the features, and of course I'll drop a link to the website for those of you that haven't seen this yet. But a couple of things to note. It is a one-of-one replica of the original console made in the 1990s. Unmistakable and uncompromising arcade build grade. Now here's the real one. No emulation, powered by re-engineered ASIC chips. The ASIC chips, the ASIC chips, re-engineered, compatible with new Neo Geo AES game cartridge and backward compatible with the original Neo Geo AES game cartridges. Quality of life features, not sure what that means. I'm sure we'll find out more about that. Low latency HDMI output, original AV output for CRT enthusiasts. Dip switches for language selection, overclocking, and display mode selection. Permanent high score saves with included memory card. The ultimate Neo Geo experience at home. Here's the biggest thing, the games. At launch, they are launching the console with a joystick, which is great. They're offering an ultimate bundle version, which is going to give you the AES joysticks, a Neo Geo CD controller, and it's gonna bundle games. We're talking about 10 games in total that it's gonna bundle. We're going to see Garo Mark of the Wolves. We're gonna see Neo Turf Masters. We're gonna see Metal Slug 1. We're going to see King of Fighters 2002. We're going to see Polestar. We're going to see tons of other games. Twinkle Star sprites. It's insane. And here's the thing about it. Here's the questions that I have, and I'm sure many of you are going to ask over time. What all can this console do and what can it not do, and how does it compare to the original Neo Geo AES? Right now it's just going to be speculation, but here are my thoughts. A couple of things that I'm already thinking about, and I'm sure many of the original Neo Geo collectors out there are thinking about right now, are what happens to the market of the original formatted games. English, Japanese, it doesn't matter, because now we have an option for games that are going to be price pointed around 90 bucks. That's even cheaper than they were before. Now, internally, I don't know what the components of the actual game is going to look like. We'll still get the 2-point boards like we do on the original SNK chips and boards and all that stuff, but it's not going to be the traditional hardware chips. I'm pretty sure that's going to be more cost effective for them to kind of do like the the other version. So I don't know until we crack open a cart. But this isn't going to be a 10-in-1. This is going to be each individual game sold at 90 bucks, or if you want to do the ultimate bundle, I think they have it listed on the website for 900 bucks, so about $1,000 for multiple controllers, 10 games, and the Neo Geo AES console in black. That's going to be crazy. Now, a couple of things that I'm thinking about. On the secondary market, we have what's called NCI games. And if you've watched my channel before, we've gone over what the difference between conversions, repros, NCI games, and classic original games look like. NCI games are games that at one point in the community, they were basically conversions. We took MVS chips off of MVS carts, we put those on AES boards, and those were conversions. Over time, that was considered taboo and that was stopped. So now it's just an emulated board that's made to look like the real thing, but it isn't. The insert isn't the real insert. The ink imprinting looks very close to the original, but it isn't. The cartridges are repro cartridges, not the original SNK plastic. Same goes for the cartridge case itself, or the snap case. So we won't know until we actually see it up close. But the thing about it is NCI games generally run between $250 and $300. Now you're going to have these games coming from Plaion for 90 bucks. This significantly changes the entire industry of Neo Geo and what we considered from purchasing games outside of just buying the original. There's a huge community of folks that just don't want to spend thousands of dollars on the original games, so they buy the reproduction versions or the NCI versions of these. Nothing wrong with it, but they just want to have that hardware feel, play it on a hardware console, and they're done with it. Now we have a cheaper price point to get in. $250 or the $350 version if you want the Metal Slug 1 Special Edition, which all comes in white. Kind of a cool aesthetic if you ask me, but if it's me, I'm going to go for the black console. I just like the traditional way that the Neo Geo looks. It's very sleek, elegant looking in the black. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few folks that go after the white, and more power to you. So we talked about NCI games, but here's the biggest question that I have. Will it have online capabilities? We already have HDMI, we have CRT, but it doesn't say anything in the listing right now for online capabilities, which would probably set this console over the top, because this is not an emulated console. This is the real re-improved AES console Plus. The games that are coming from Plaion, could we potentially be able to play those games on the traditional Neo Geo console without any huff or fuss, without any errors or issues? Don't know, too early to tell. And the same goes for any homebrew games. Theoretically, there shouldn't be an issue because it's still using the same style of hardware that the original AES had. So we'll be able to play all forms of Neo Geo games. Now, in terms of voltage and all these things, we've run into issues over the years with certain voltage powers, etc., and power supplies with certain consoles, but I would assume that Plaion has fixed that and re-improved things to where we shouldn't see any issues on the Neo Geo AES Plus. So what are my thoughts on this new console? Should I get one? Will you get one? I'm actually going to get one of these. I want to test and see the comparisons. A size for size comparison to see what's the subtle differences outside of HDMI and some of the upgraded internals. And I really want to see the actual cartridge itself. I want to see what's inside. Does it come with a manual? We know we get a snap case for each of these games. And the cool thing about it is some of those games, the versions of them weren't in snap cases. They were in soft cases. So being able to see those is actually pretty cool. And looking at the visuals online, it looks like the cases might be a version of what Limited Run had done. And if you haven't seen those Snapcase repro production cases, go back and check my video out on that, where I reviewed just those cases themselves. Like for those that needed, replacement cases and they didn't have anything and they just had found cartridges or such or whatever. So there's that. Plaion has really dropped a significant bomb out there, and I am all for it. But I think honestly, if you're pricing the games at 90 bucks each, and there's 10 games, and these are all bangers, if you ask me, I would recommend every last one of these games for anyone's collection. If you were going after an authentic AES console collection, those are 10 games that are absolute must for sure. I would definitely go after those. There's more to come on this. I know I've been gone. I thought I would drop this video just to let you all know that, hey, we're still here, and this is the biggest thing that I have, and I'll leave it at this. I know for my big time Neo Geo enthusiasts, the purists that are constantly all about the original hardware, there's going to be a portion of the community that's going to be split in terms of the pricing of what the current market looks like if it has everything that it should have when it comes to this bundle or just the console itself. I get it. There's a lot of big title games that a lot of people don't have access to, and those games are super expensive. Will this lower the price of current original games? Potentially, and it may not. But that's one side of the house. The other side that I'm looking at, this brings new enthusiasts to the console, to the community, which I think that's what we need. We need fresh blood pumped into this community, because there's a lot of folks out there that have always had regrets on whether they couldn't get a console or they had a console and they had to sell it. Now this brings future collectors in to not only come in at a cheaper price point to grab a console, but also get games that play just as the originals do, potentially, and they get to play that. I think that's an awesome thing, and that brings more conversation to the real thing that we come to, collecting and playing the way we want to collect and play our games. I've said, if you want to emulate, emulate. If you want to buy the original thing, buy the original thing. If you want to do whatever else you want to do, do whatever else you want to do. Do what makes you happy, and I think this is a crucial and exciting thing that's happened to the community, especially from a Neo Geo standpoint. So drop comments down below and let me know, and as always, collect and play the way you want to collect and play your games, and we'll check you soon. Peace.